Hi guys, I'm Ali from Monsters and Critic, and today we're chatting with Married at First Sight season 15 star Binh Trinh.
Maybe this is another step to bring the walls down.
Thank you for having me.
I want to start from the beginning, right? So,
Yep.
how did you hear about the show?
So I was just on Instagram randomly one day, and then one of the recruiters from the show, from Kinetic Content, I believe, they just literally cold DM'd me and said, "Hey, you look like a viable candidate." I saw the text, and then I thought it was fake. I thought it was a bot, but then I talked to a few of my friends, and they're like, "Dude, just try it, just shoot it," and just ended up going through it. Watched, I believe, season 10. It was on Netflix at the time. I watched season 10, which was DC, and then after that, I watched New Orleans, and after that, I was kind of sold. I was like, okay, these experts, they have their back, and I'm down.
So, it's the wedding day, and you see your bride. What are you feeling?
To be honest, if we were to take like a week back, I was down with the whole thing, and then I got COVID, and that was kind of like that was the point of the show where I was like kind of second guessing myself. I was like, dang, like I did everything right. I didn't go to the gym. How did I get COVID? Maybe that's a sign. So ever since COVID, I was kind of second guessing everything. So I was a little bit scared or nervous.
Soon enough, things are not really panning out. Where do you think
Yeah.
it started to go wrong? Like, when was it like?
I think from the beginning it was doomed. We weren't paired well, in my opinion. Just threw opposites together, and whatever she was asking for, or whatever I asked for, it was almost the opposite of what we both got. So I think it was doomed from the beginning, and we just went on with the process, trying to make it work.
When we're watching back your season, we were all like on your side because all the things that Morgan was saying about you, we weren't seeing that. Have you watched back your season since you've been off?
I haven't seen my season. I've seen the other seasons, like pretty much before 15. I've seen every season almost.
Did you watch your season?
I didn't watch my season. I just I get, my one of my best friends. He's a day one of the show. He watched from the first season. He's kind of the one that got me to watch it during COVID. But he basically told me everything that happened.
You were taking the brunt of the blame. Why?
Yeah, I think that's just how I was raised. Just to whenever a problem arises, to see how I can improve, and not to put the blame on anybody else, but. My dad tried to always raise me as a leader, so just taking responsibility and seeing how I can improve and making things better. And me putting blame on somebody else or putting negative words into somebody else's stuff isn't what I'm about. So that's what I try to do. I definitely take responsibility for talking to Justin, but I feel like we were just venting to each other. A lot of the things he said in the end at the reunion, that was stuff that he vented to me about, but I kept it in house. I didn't say anything on camera about it. So it's just a little different there.
Watching it back, we felt bad for you when she was saying that to you, because that's what the cast members do. You're locked in the space, and there's nobody else to talk to but each other. And when we're watching it back, we saw her venting to her about you. So it was just like, why are you taking the blame for this?
Yeah, I think maybe I should have vented to somebody else about it. Somebody that would have kept it under wraps. But it is what it is. I definitely vented to some of my friends that were off the show. Obviously, they don't understand what's really going on during it, and it's intense. It's nothing that I've ever been through in my life. So I didn't know what to do. To be honest, I did the best with what I had at the time.
So
I did.
Was the problem was it about who you vented to, or was it just about the fact that you spoke about your relationship at all? That she was
I think I take responsibility. She told me privately not to talk to anybody on the show about it. But when you're with people and they're living in the same spot, it was tough at the time for me to do it. In hindsight, I probably wouldn't have talked to anybody and just maybe called an expert or something like that.
Yeah.
But when you're going through it, you're not really thinking. You're not really thinking. You're working full time, then you got to go home and meet this person and be in this environment. So
the experts Do you think they intervened enough to try and fix your issues with Morgan?
I think they understood that it just wasn't meant to be. You know, so uh, I I think they did a good job of not intervening, I guess, or it was already, the damage was already done. So there's nothing really to improve or make situations better.
When you guys are going into this decision day, right? And you have to separate and you go to your home and she goes to her home. Do you guys discuss before what you're gonna say?
Alice, we didn't even make decisions.
Yeah, I know you're.
I think yeah. So I don't know. I didn't get a dress up. I had a suit ready before the season. It was gonna be fresh. I think in hindsight, I think it didn't last. It lost half the season, so like a month. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Oh, because I've always wondered if they kind of say, all right, we're gonna say yes or we're gonna say no.
Yeah.
You know?
We met with Dr. Pepper like a month in and just basically had our own decision day. So we both said no for different reasons, and we moved on.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you kind of said no mid-season though.
Yeah, that was our decision day essentially.
You chose your own decision day long before we, you know.
Yeah, we ran it early.
Yeah. Do you keep in touch with Morgan any at all?
Not recently, but after the show, we definitely reached out as friends. I think she lives. She was living in Santa Barbara, and now she lives in the Bay. So it's kind of hard to keep up with everybody, if you're not in San Diego.
Has she ever apologized to you for anything that happened on the show, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're on good terms. So we moved on. I think she has a man now. So I respectfully keep my keep away from that. So yeah, but everything is good. There's no beef with anybody from my season.
Who else do you keep in touch with from your season?
From my season, I actually went to Houston to see a person from season 13, Ryan, with Kristen, and we're gonna go to New York to visit Kristen. And then I literally live 2 blocks away from Alexis, and then 4 blocks away from Nate.
By the way, before you got on the show, did you get any advice from anyone about, did you know anyone before to get any advice, tips?
Ryan was just saying to be open and to give your best from season 13. He was probably a big brother to me on the show. I reached out to him for advice. Not really during the show, but after and then before. He just gave me a little tips and tricks. And I guess, a few people from season 13, I guess, male-wise.
Are you and Morgan officially divorced?
Yeah, so we filed the paperwork January. So I think it's official June 6th. It's over. It takes 6 months in California to have it officially over.
Vinny, what did your parents think of you doing this craziness?
Yeah, my parents are very traditional, Asian immigrant parents, but they respected my decision, and they just went with it. It's hard for them to, their English is actually their third language, so it's hard for them to follow along on TV shows and movies, so they didn't really understand that, but they knew that it didn't work.
So are you dating now?
I'm dating here and there, but haven't really found the one. And most of the times that it happens, that there's an opportunity, most of them don't live in San Diego, so it's tough to start something from that.
And what about your DMs? What's going on with your DMs? Are you getting married those?
The DMs are doing okay. They're pretty solid.
I would imagine so.
It's more in San Diego, so it's a smaller town than LA or New York. A lot of people a lot of girls will buy me drinks and stuff like that when I go out, which is random. So it's definitely shifted after the show a little bit.
Yeah. And what was the feedback from viewers?
That I was too hard on myself, that it's okay to make mistakes, and that I owned up to it, and I did the best with what I had. So that's the other one. Some people made fun of my haircut. That's about it. Yeah, that's the other feedback.
Yeah, because reality TV viewers can be brutal.
Oh yeah.
You were not a villain in your season, so you're good.
Yeah, I'm not too many. There's not really any negative The only thing negative was towards somebody else on my cast and my DM. So nothing negative towards me specifically.
So what has changed since we last saw you?
After the show, I started doing therapy, so just been working on my mental health, and I traveled to a bunch of places since then. And, next month, like June 25th, have been 5 years in San Diego. So I'm kind of looking forward to doing something else, to flipping the chapter. And I maybe that's a move. I think that's the plan, is to move maybe to LA. I have people I went to university with live there, family lives there. And I think it's time, for the next chapter.
Have you been getting a new burst of comments about the show because it's now on Netflix? So there's new viewers, new fans, new haters.
Periodically, I just get like, sorry I'm late to the show, but like just the same things are said, but like a year delayed.
Do you like talking about the show, or do you just want it to forget it and move on with your life?
People that come up to me are super kind and they say the bare minimum, so I don't mind it, but I definitely wouldn't mind doing another show just so I have a different narrative.
I was going to ask you that. I was going to do another reality show.
So a show reached out to me. I don't know if I can say the name, but I talked to them and they basically said that the way that it airs on Netflix and Hulu, it would be around the same time as this show. So I couldn't do it till after it aired on Netflix. So I
also would be
have to wait some time.
Show. Is it Love is Blind? Can I guess? Is it Love is Blind?
Love is Blind reached out to me when I was finishing my master's, and which was one of the reasons why I decided to do this show. But I think in hindsight, I probably should have just done Love is Blind. But it was F-Boy Islands. It was F-Boy Islands. I don't know if you ever heard of that one.
That's the one you're interested in?
No, that's
really?
the one that reached out to me. That's the one that reached out to me after the show. But it's like there's 10 good guys, 10 bad guys, and then it's like Bachelorette style where the 3 girls pick down to one and then they reveal if they're a good guy or a bad guy.
Oh, okay.
Pick the money or pick the girl.
Oh, would you pick the money or the girl?
It depends on the girl.
How much money is it? How much money is up for grabs?
I think it's $100K, and then you could secretly handshake. You could secretly handshake like, yo, like I'm taking the money, but we could still be together, right?
So if you're in love and you find this dream girl, it's a win-win. You just say, listen, I'm gonna choose the money now.
Look, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What about Survivor? Because you're always like working out, and are you not a Survivor guy? Would you go on Survivor?
Oh, Survivor? I would be down for like Survivor or what was the American Ninja Warrior? American Ninja Warrior would be really cool. I actually so I signed with the fitness model agency and they reached out to me for American Ninja Warrior, but it was in Vegas and it was about a week before I went to Portugal, so it was too tough to make the audition. But I would love to try that. It's a different type of workout, but it's really cool. And I think in hindsight, and I don't think I have the ability, but Jersey Shore would be a cool one to be on. Jersey, I don't
really? Why Jersey Shore? Is that one of your favorite shows?
That was my favorite show in like high school. Just to hang out with Pauly D would be cool.
I mean, you guys have similar hair, so you could bond.
yeah, we could bond.
Bonding.
I don't think they have an Asian guy on Jersey Shore. I think it's all Italian.
They should. So maybe they need to.
If they want to have me as a guest appearance, that I wouldn't mind.
You have so many options now, so I'm just watching the show now to see which one you're going to end up on.
I think in a year or so, if everything is right, hopefully it all works out and maybe a different show. But I definitely am looking to move to LA for opportunities. If
you could have like your best life in like 3 years, what would that look like?
Just to be time free and financially free and put in a position to, I love helping kids. So even last week I volunteered at a basketball camp with kids with autism. So being put in a position financially to where I could just volunteer all time and travel. So I think that's it. And, doing that with my brother, he finishes residency next year. So we're going to try to use the income that we get from our respective jobs and just get into real estate and other sources of passive income to be able to quit.
Well, it was nice chatting with you, Benny.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you for reaching out. I really appreciate it.